Alright guys, so if you haven't watched the previous video of how to make control account, then you should watch the previous video before watching this video, otherwise you will be completely blank. So let's move on with the other adjustment in the control account. So I have listed couple of examples here. Okay, so what happened in control account, we can have balance carried down and brought down. I emphasized enough on this, I guess, in the previous video, but again I will be going through this in this video. And then we have dishonored check. Dishonored check is something like if we are paying to someone, so let's say we are paying to trade payables, we don't have enough funds in our bank, or it can also happen with the trade receivable. If trade receivable issue check to us and the trade receivable is not having enough funds in their bank. Okay, so contra entry is something like we can say if our supplier is, if we are buying something from our supplier and our supplier is also our customer. So let's say if we are buying maybe uh, what can we say, let's say if we are into water business, okay, we are making water bottles. So if we are buying plastic bottles from someone, so what happen is that from the company we are buying the plastic bottle is also buying the water bottles from us when we have the final product. So that is called something like contra entry. And then we have refund. So in this case this is something like trade receivable paid extra. So if that is something like prepaid income, but it's not prepaid income. Why it's not prepaid income? Because this is trade receivable. Trade receivable and prepaid income are two different things. I'm just referring to how the transaction will be posted, so it's easier to understand. If we pay extra, it can also happen in the other way around. Okay, so it's not necessary that trade receivable is paying us extra. It can also happen that we are also paying extra to the trade payable for the future maybe goods, or maybe we accidentally made extra payment. Okay, so that is called refund. Okay, so in this, let's have an example of balance carried down and brought down first, I guess. So in this I have already explained, if I have balance carried down instead of having cash. Okay, so previously I was having cash, and but the trade payable, I did not make any payment to trade payable. I will have a credit balance. Why I will have a credit balance is because this is a current liability. This is my trade payable account. Okay, and this is also my trade payable account. That's why I will have a balance on the credit side. So what will happen in my control account is I will have all the totals. So if I will have all the credit purchase, I will add both of them and I will write it over here. That's a small review. And this is discount receive. I don't have any discount receive here, so I will have only the discount receive which I am having in one account or maybe two accounts. Okay, if I am having more accounts in a company. So in this case I am having purchase return, and in this account I don't have purchase return, so I will just mention this purchase return, which will be 500, and I will add this balance carried down and brought down. Otherwise it's not necessary for me to take this balance carried down and brought down. The reason why, because I have to check the accuracy whether my credit purchase have the same credit balance if I add them or not. So you can maybe check vice versa, if you add them whether you get 9300 or not. If you're not getting, then maybe there is some error. Okay, so on this also you're having a credit balance. So this is a purchase control account. So this is something like the total of trade payables. So purchase control account, you can say, is the total of trade payables. So if you have 20 trade payables, you will have only one purchase control account, and purchase control account is used to post this entry into trial balance. So it's easier, so you don't have to post Rafik, Jack, and if you have like many other trade payables into trial balance with the names, so you can just post one entry. Okay, that's much easier, right? So moving on with the LX, which is my trade receivable. The thing is that I don't have, so let's cancel cash book. Let's say he didn't pay me. Okay, and I am going to assume he will pay me next year. Okay, so how much will it be? 3250, I guess, right? Let me total up. Oh, it's okay. 72, I guess. 7273. Okay, I should have noticed the cash book amount. So my balance brought down is going to be carried down. Sorry, is going to be carried down or carried forward is same thing. So it's going to be this amount in this case also. Let me copy this one, and it's going to be here also, but it will turn into balance brought down and the date will change, but in this case I'm not having the date, so I don't have to worry about it. So this is balance brought down, and yeah, so this is how the balance brought down transaction will be adjusted. And same thing will go if I don't have cash book here. I will delete it and I will see how much amount do I need. Okay, so I will have a balance carried down here. Let me just put it upside, and then I will have balance carried down, and let's calculate how much do I need. Okay, so maybe I can say 14,000 minus I need 13,500. Again, I did not notice how much I need. Hey, y50 is less. It's 550. All right. Is that right? Something is not right. Let me. So cash book was this amount. Okay, so rather than doing that, I think this is more appropriate to do this, because I won't be losing anything. Okay, I'm just adjusting the entries now. I have copied this, I am copying this, and I'm pasting it over here. Okay, so this will change into balance brought down instead of balance carried down. Okay, so this is the amount you are supposed to have in this balance brought down. Now what you can do to recheck this amount is you can add the balance brought down of this amount and balance brought down of this amount and check whether it's equivalent to 13,550 or not. So let's say it's 7350 plus 6200. It do calculate on my calculator, so maybe on your calculator you have to check. Okay, then we have Dishonored check. How we are going to post Dishonored check is that the entry will be credit cash. This entry I'm giving example is for sales control account. Okay, maybe I can enter sales control account. For sales control account, debit will be trade receivable. Trade receivable will be debit because he paid us the before we accepted the amount and we debit our cash book. So what we are doing right now is we are just doing something similar we did in the bank statement, bank reconciliation statement. We will credit the amount because we thought we received the amount, but it was dishonored check, so we are, maybe you can say, kicking out the amount from our cash book. Okay, so what something opposite will happen into purchase. So I'm just trying to make the process faster. So this is going to be cash book, and this will be trade payable. Right. So in this case we paid the actual let me, maybe I can mention the actual amount also. So what happened is debit trade payable, payables maybe, and credit our cash. Okay, so what happened if we are making payment to trade payable is we credit our cash and pay to the trade payables, right? But after the dishonored check, we will debit our cash book. The trade payables will say to us that the check you gave to us was not valid. You was not having enough funds in your bank account, so that's why we cannot accept the check. So therefore we will credit our cash book. Okay, before we did this, now we will debit our cash book with the same amount and credit our trade payable. I hope that's clear. If it's still not clear, maybe we can have some more example and you can list down in the comments below. So how we will be recording it, and this into sales control account will be like this. So for sales control account, let me go to the purchase first. Okay, I think can we have one entry? Okay, let me just add two maybe, I guess. Okay, so for this, for sales control account, sorry, this is purchase. So in this, purchase will be credit. Okay, but in this case I didn't pay anything. Instead of cash book, I can have, instead of trade receivable, okay, then I can have cash book here, and in the bracket I will have Dishonored. And the next thing is I'm going to have 3800 here. So what will happen is, now I will have a balance carried down of 3800, and again balance brought down of 3800. Okay, so what we did here, again let me repeat, is we bought the goods, we received the trade discount. Okay, we paid the amount, and the trade payable said the amount you paid us, you are not having enough funds in your bank account, so we are giving back you your check. And what we will do is we will take that amount as a balance brought down. We can have this trade receivable if we are paying within that limit of what if the terms are of the company of the trade payable. If we are entitled to that, then we can receive it. If we are not entitled to that, then we may not receive it. So if I delete it, it will be 4000. Okay, the reason it will be 4000 is because I was having cash discount received here. So in this case it will be 4000. Okay, and then it will also change to 4000. But that is something a bit complicated. If you don't understand, that's, I guess, fine. Maybe when you will do a lot of practice, then you will get it. And maybe if we are doing these all practices today, then I hope that will help. Okay, something similar will happen over here. Cash book, I am assuming I paid my trade payable, and then the guy said, the trade payable said, the amount you paid to us is not valid, or the check you paid to us is not valid. You are not having enough funds in your bank. Therefore they are making this dishonored check and giving us back our check. So this will be the payment. Again, purchase return will stay the same in this case. Why? Because the goods I have already done are not something like trade discount. Trade discount is cash discount. This is basically cash discount. So if I'm saying about cash discount is only based on the payments term. If I'm paying within 15 days, then only I am entitled. But in the case of this, it can vary depending on whether I am paying. If the, let's say the company says you don't have enough funds, I can debit the funds into my bank account and then I can pay again. Okay, that is something complicated we may be looking into in further videos, but that is the general concept. Okay, we will do the same thing. I will have a cash book here. So depending on how much I have paid, okay, so in this case, so let's say I was having the same amount here. I paid all the amount, okay, and the amount, total amount is supposed to be 9,300 and cash book is also 9,300. So all of my trade payable in this case said that I don't have enough funds and they returned my check. So this is the case. I'm just making it easier to understand, so when you're working on the difficult questions maybe you can easily get the concept, because if you get the concept then it's easy to work on with the things. Okay, so same thing will happen with the trade receivable. If I'm having dishonored check, my trade receivable will be debit. Okay, so in this case they will be debit. So instead of having this on credit side I will have it on debit. Okay, and the amount will be vary, but in this case I haven't paid. I have to make sure that I paid something, then only they are making this claim. So it's important for me that I paid something. Again I'm having discount allowed here, this one. So this one I can receive this discount allowed. I can give this discount allowed, or I may not give this discount allowed, depending on whether my trade receivable is paying within the terms or not. Okay, so this will be 7350 again, and this is something we will get. Okay, and we will do something similar with this later. We will have in the at the end of the month we can have this, and we will have 7,500, 7350, and 4. Just cancel this one. So I'm just making this a bit complicated example. So in this, for Alex, he said I don't have enough. I said to him, you don't have enough funds in your bank account, but Smith has. So it means I will have, let's delete this and let's assume he paid the amount. Okay, and 6200 is the amount, right? And let's delete that. I will have cash book here, and that will be 6200. Okay, my balance brought down will change and it will be 7350, 7350, and this one will also be 7350. And let's see whether it balances or not. Okay, if I total this side, this is 14,000. If I total this side, this is exceeding, right? So that means there's something wrong. Okay, so I have sales return. Do I have sales return? I have sales return. Okay, then I have discount allowed of 150. Then I have cash book. I received the payments from him. Okay, then again I have this payment, so this means I am missing this payment from here. Okay, I have to include this payment because this is also cash book. I have already included this over here, so it's mean I am excluding. I cannot exclude that payment. So if I add 7350, it will be 7350 plus 6,200. It will be 1313550. Okay, now we have the same amount. Okay, so this is something we are going to have. We have balance brought down, carried down here 7350, here also 7350, here also 7350. In this case we don't have any balance brought down. So moving on with the contra entry. What contra entry is about is our supplier is also our customer. So let's say if I am selling goods to the Rafik, if I'm buying goods from the Rafik, I'm also selling the goods to Rafik. So let's say Alex, I'm changing this name to Rafik. Okay, so what happened, instead of having these accounts, I'm having Rafik account here also, here also. What I will do is that when he make the payments, okay, 6,200, okay, I can deduct the payment from here. Okay, so instead of paying to him, I will do contra entry here, excuse me, I will make the contra entry of the amount I paid here, and I will reduce the amount he is supposed to pay me from his account. I need to include one line over here, so it's mean contra entry here. So 3800 minus 6400 will be how much? 3800 will be 2400. Okay, so if it's 2400, he will pay me 2400 only. Okay, and the contra entry is for 3800. Okay, so it will still balance. It still balance. It should. Yes, it does. Okay, so here also it balance, here also it balance. This is contra entry. Okay, my supplier is also my customer, or my customer is also my supplier. It can vice versa, it can be other way around. Okay, so refunds are something like I already explained. Trade receivable paid extra amount, so it's mean this is my Alex is my trade receivable. So in this case, instead of having a balance on this side, okay, instead of having a balance on this side, I have a balance on this side. So how is that possible? That will be possible by, if I say he paid me, let's say 15,000. okay, so it means I have already exceeding the amount on the credit side. It means I have to include the balance carried down on this side. Therefore I need to include some amount, and that will be 150 plus 150, 300. Does that help? Yep. Okay, so balance carried down on this side and balance brought down on this side, and then I will have 3000. Let me change it to brought down. Same things goes with the whether it's trade payable or trade receivable. So if it's trade receivable, that was trade receivable. So if it's trade payable, what we can do here is we can add line. Okay, so it means I won't be having my trade payable balance on credit side. I will be having the balance on debit side. So it means I paid, instead of 5500, okay, let's say I paid 20,000. okay, so it means I am no longer having this balance. So if I total this amount, and if I total this amount, it means I have more money on my debit side. Therefore my balance brought down will be on this side, and I need to add, in this case I need to add 9,000, I guess. Yep, and I need to add 9,000, and I will just copy paste brought down, and I will change C to D. That's the easiest way, and this is all you need to know about this transaction in contra entry. And that's all, and I think that's everything you need to know about contra entry. See you in next video.